Then I'm gonna pull it in. That time it just let me pull it in. Extremely quiet.
This is what is interesting me the most, is your rear charging port. Really interested to see. So that power opens.
This is nice. I would love to ride in this.
It is here in all of its glory.
This video is brought to you by Iona, North America's premier charging network. With unmatched commitment to elevating the customer experience, Iona is opening America's roads to all EVs, giving drivers the coverage they need, the reliability they deserve, and the amenities they crave.
Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video, and welcome to Austin, Texas for South by Southwest, where Kyle and I are going to give you guys our raw first impressions of the Tesla Cybercab. Now, I have never sat in a Cybercab, and it's an important time to do so because we are nearing April, which is when Tesla has quoted production will start on the Cybercab right here in Austin, Texas. So you guys know how these videos go. If we get access to a vehicle that is almost in production, we of course have to pick apart the interior and see how production ready it really is. See if it's ready to be on the ground and be constantly used by customers day to day that may not be so gentle on it. I'm also curious to see if there are any exterior or interior changes that we didn't know about, because this build should be really close to what they will be producing in April for you guys to ride in. And lastly, I have ridden in a Zoox. I have not done Waymo yet, but Zoox was a phenomenal experience. And so without riding in the Cybercab, I want to give you guys my interior impressions on which one I would prefer day to day. If I had the choice and they were both the same price, would I pick a Zoox or a Cybercab to drive me around, knowing that the Cybercab uses Tesla's FSD suite, which we know is wonderful. We have arrived. It is here in all of its glory. Let's hop inside and get those interior impressions going for you guys. Alrighty guys, we are sitting in the Cybercab. So first impression, I just closed the door and I'll show you guys that mechanism in a second, or I'll overlay B-roll. Moving into the interior, guys, of course, legroom is absolutely stellar. That is as far as I can put my foot forward. I'm about 5'11", and I still have multiple inches of legroom. So this is probably comfortable up to, I don't know, at least 6'3", 6'4". All right, and then as far as other dimensions, again, I am about 5'11". Here is the headroom. At least 2 inches above my head, again, pretty good. I wouldn't say as good as the legroom. The legroom is like insane. The legroom is almost like a little much, I feel like. I don't know if like dimensionally, like the trunk could have been bigger or, other things could have been changed. But we do know that if you are a taller person, you should have no problems unless you're like a, class leading like NBA player height of a person. We have 2 window switches here and 2 USB-C ports. These are on the front center display at the bottom. Those used to be in the cup holders, and this is the first time we're seeing them not here.
I walked up to see the robo-taxi, and there's Logan filming our video. Hey, Logan.
Hello.
How's it going?
Are you hopping in?
No, but I just wanted to take a picture, and then I saw you're already in there. Dude, it's my first time seeing this thing. I'm going to hop in with you, all right?
Somebody came over from Rivian.
Okay, so opening of the door, that's the biggest thing. There is not so much, I knocked my head on the glass there.
Yep.
Okay, so that you got to really come in from the back side to come in. But
yes.
Once you're in here, dude, the leg room.
I know, I was just saying, you would have to be like, what, 6'5" or something to not...
The seats feel shiny.
Yes.
They got to go with whatever material they use in the rest of their cars.
This is definitely not the same material. Yeah.
No, it looks cheaper.
This almost feels like aftermarket or something. Like it doesn't feel very OE to me.
Right. Headliner's super cool though. It's got this like fabric-y thing to it. I love the Braille stop sign up there, or for the emergency button there. Internal camera, and there's like nothing else. Is this screen perfectly centered? It looks like it. It's huge.
Yep, perfectly centered. Yeah, significantly bigger than anything we're used to in Tesla vehicles.
But honestly, it's completely autonomous. Why do you even need a windshield?
Right.
I guess to give you a sense of
in theory. I mean, I'm somebody, I don't know if you are, I'm somebody who, like, if I look down at my phone for too long, I get car sick.
Yeah,
so.
I absolutely do.
Yeah, so 100%. I mean, that helps with visibility and stuff.
Yeah, wow, the seats are super comfy, though, if they keep it like this. They don't recline very much because you have this firewall right here, or this sort of backsplash wall.
Yep.
This looks straight out of, like, Model 3, Model Y, air vent stuff.
Yep.
Wow, first experience sitting in here, though. What a cool thing. I had no idea we were going to have a chance to check out
I know,
the
this is
Cybercab.
wonderful.
And yeah, you can't get over the room. You got your 2 cup holders here. I assume they'll have USB ports.
So so those got moved. So they used to be at the cup holders.
Yeah.
This is the first time we're seeing them here, and a lot of people on Twitter are talking about
breaking news.
a lot of people are talking about like kind of having to clean those off and stuff, and so this spot would have been really bad for that.
Got gunked up.
Yeah. So
wow, you can feel the suspension squishy, dude. I'm just bouncing a little bit, and the whole thing's got some flex.
that's a great point.
That is,
I mean, you're like barely moving.
I'm barely moving, and we're getting some movement here, and that's what you want.
Right.
I've ridden around in the Zooks, I've ridden around
Yes.
in others, and having just a really soft, cushy suspension, performance matters zero
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
You just want to not feel potholes, not feel bumps, and
Yep.
this being really squishy leads to them designing an ultra comfortable suspension setup.
Yep, it should be completely isolated.
Yeah, I guess we have some pull down stuff here that looks straight out of their other cars.
Yep, right
So,
out of the Model 3.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
all
do you
really
want to try
nice.
shutting the door there? It's
Is it possible to?
yeah, so it's an interesting mechanism. I'm not sure if this is final. You just
Yeah.
kind of have to grab it.
Just grab it here?
Yep. Wherever,
Okay.
wherever you can.
Wherever
so,
you can.
So it'll resist you, and then at the end, it stops resisting you.
I'm pulling really hard on
Yeah.
this thing. So
It-
that's what you're supposed to do?
I don't know, but do you see how it?
And then there it comes down.
So and then there it comes down and latches.
Oh, and the window pops up.
And then if you want to try the window switch here, I'll press it here.
Oh, there's window buttons there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
No one would know that that's where that is. Is it single pane glass? Single pane glass.
Single plane. Yep.
If we roll it all up.
Let me shut this door.
Oh, yeah.
So again, pushing it out here, it's a little bit of resistance. Then I'm gonna pull it in. That time it just let me pull it in. Extremely quiet.
Whoa. We can't hear anything. I can't hear you. Scott has no idea that we're saying can't hear anything. Yeah. Very quiet. What a cool... Dude, I want one of these with a steering wheel.
Yes.
And
I've
to
been
like
seeing that.
slide it around. It's
Yes.
so, like if they just sold this
It's
as a
just
vehicle,
a cool form factor.
like obviously robo-taxis needed, we need, all this stuff, whatever. That'd be cool. But Cybercab, excuse me, not robo-taxi.
yeah.
How sick would this be if you could like just daily one?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a cool shape.
It would be kind of bad to drive because you have massive A-pillars.
Yeah, that's true.
So they would need to move, change some of the structural design. The windshield doesn't come up very high.
Right.
It's not like the best viewpoint for driving. You sit way too far back in the thing.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So they would have to, clearly this is not designed to be a driven vehicle.
Yep.
And if it was, well, I guess, we've seen them with steering wheels. I thought maybe the early ones would ship with a steering wheel.
Right.
You're not driving this thing with A-pillars like that.
Yep, and then I checked the sticker. This is a February of 26 build. So, and it does have a VIN.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
February of 26. What are we in now? March.
Yes.
Oh, so it's just built.
Yes.
On the line.
Yes.
Did it have any payload?
I checked all of that. It just
Yeah.
says TBD, 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 TBD.
Amazing. Okay.
This folds up, I believe, right? Yep.
Yeah. Does it go all the way up?
Check.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes it flat here.
I hate this material.
It's a horrible material.
They got to fix this.
The padding underneath the material, wonderful.
It's just, Tesla uses that premium poly whatever material in the rest of their cars.
Vegan leather.
The
yeah.
vegan leather. Just
Yeah.
put that here.
It's a great material.
That would be way better.
Yep.
Wow. I can't wait to ride in one, actually. But what a cool experience to sit in one. Good thing they don't have door pockets because everything would fly out when you open the door.
Right,
And
right.
you don't want people leaving stuff anywhere. So not having cubbies is actually a really nice thing.
The door mechanism was kind of a shocker for me.
I'm really interested to see. So that power opens
Yes.
as we smack Scott almost.
That almost hit me.
Yeah. But then to close the door, is there a button that you can hit to close it?
It's on the screen.
It's on the screen?
Oh, can I hit a button? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so it's fully powered. Oh, then you don't really have to pull on it
Okay,
that much.
okay. So you're not supposed to.
I guess you would have to hit the button on the screen to close.
Right.
That makes
Yep.
sense.
So we don't have any software right now.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, I can't wait to play around with it when it's all dialed in without the splash screen, but lights feel nice. That's interesting. It's not left and right. It's one housing right here.
Yes.
This is so cool. I would just want one.
And of course, we have to mention the fact that this is running FSD, same 9-camera system, and obviously it'll drive well.
I mean, I took a Model Y robo-taxi yesterday, and it navigated some crazy stuff.
Yep.
And just put that on a smaller car, it's only going to be better.
Exactly. So there's really no question as far as the actual autonomy goes.
Yeah.
But
This is going to be amazing. Holy smokes. Just sell it with a steering wheel, Tesla. But you got to fix some of things before you do that. What a weird experience to like have this much. Down here.
So how tall are you, Kyle?
I'm 6'1" or 1.86 m, and my feet do not touch.
Even if you tried, you can't touch it.
Not with my heels. No, not with this all the way back.
And then headroom for you, how is it?
Headroom is fine. I think it could honestly use a bit more. What I'm mostly worried about is this egress ingress, but I don't think when I got in the door was fully open.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem. I actually thought compared to a normal car,
I think the door was kind of down this way, because now if I pop out of it, I can just stand straight up. Scott, you want to jump in there and experience it?
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, that's actually a lot of space.
Yes. So,
Wow.
How tall are you, Scott?
I am 5'10", plus maybe an inch or two with these old things on.
Yes.
This is nice.
Isn't the padding like really good?
It is very good. It's very squishy. It feels more closer to like the 2018 Model 3 seats. That interior that's like really squishy.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is nice. I would love to ride in this.
Yep.
10 out of 10. Okay. No notes. Now, how would I open the door?
Is it?
Do I pull this?
Yeah. Is it the button?
Is it a button?
I don't know. I didn't even open mine yet. So, oh, there we go. And then it power
Yeah.
opens. Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
Love it.
This is the back of it. Logan, just looking at design really quick, I know you've probably taken everyone through it. Pretty wide body gaps throughout. This whole thing looks like it articulates, and it's like a giant trunk space. You've seen inside already, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
it is extremely big.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And then looking around at some of the lights and stuff back here, you just have that single camera on the back. You have, I assume, brakes, turn signals. That's your rear charging port.
Yes.
So we'll have to ask them a little bit about that. To open the rear trunk, it's just this button right here, and then it will open up. Really quiet, really nice sounding struts right there. And then a pretty narrow but long storage area. Dude, you could put so much stuff in there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's really interesting. And then sort of that surface is all ungrained plastic. I wonder if that will stay the same or not. And I guess, what do you think they're using all those slots for?
I was wondering that if it's like,
Yeah.
if they try to make it like the same climate as the, like the same airspace.
Right, maybe to reduce, like if this slams shut, you don't have an
Yes.
overpressurization
Yeah.
of the cabin maybe. I don't 100% know, but it looks interesting. I mean, it's definitely getting very close to final production. Final seals are on there. You have the connection points for all of your electrical connections coming through. And then an interesting design back here as well, where it's probably just how do we get the least amount of material in there as possible. Everything here is designed for mass production, lowest cost. And to me, that's like such a cool design and engineering target, is to like, how do we build a trillion and how do we make it as cheap as possible but not feel crappy?
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool situation.
And be extremely durable for people to beat the crap out of these things.
Right. Comes down very quick. That's pretty amazing. I bet it has some pinch sensors around it as well. We should probably take a look at that in the future. But this is what is interesting me the most, is your rear charging port right there. So that's your NACS inlet, because it doesn't have wireless charging all set up yet, I get. But that's kind of cool. It's just a top bracket that locks right in there. So that's how I've seen them plug into superchargers recently.
Yep.
No idea battery specs.
Yeah,
Probably
we have
as small
nothing.
as possible. To make it as reasonably cost effective.
And I mean, this would have to be the most efficient vehicle they've ever made.
Yeah, let's take a look. So you've got a side marker light here, Continentals. What are they? 225 60 R21s. That's a pretty big tire to go for a 21.
Yes.
And then this isn't finalized yet, is this cover. This is like glued to the tire,
Right,
and
yeah.
more for design. They're playing around with it. We just spoke to some of the folks working on this car, and they're like, yeah, we're trying to see what's good, what's not good.
Yep.
I think it's cool. They're trying to go as aero as possible, but I mean, you could go with a much smaller wheel, thicker tire. There is actually a trade-off. I was listening to your R2 video, Logan, and if you sometimes go with a smaller wheel and a thicker tire, like ride quality can get worse by doing that sometimes.
Really?
Because you could have a stiffer sidewall to like handle the extra weight.
Oh.
So there's like different oscillation frequencies that you can get in or out depending on your sidewall size and material compound.
Interesting.
With something like this, you don't need that high of a load rating, so it might make sense to go with the taller sidewall,
Yep.
but you could also lose efficiency with more tire oscillation.
Okay.
So sometimes going bigger wheel is better for efficiency.
Interesting.
Especially if it's a aero style wheel like this. It all depends on the exact application and how it's done. You can see the offset is very much inset here.
Yep.
Right? This thing is just like totally in that wheel well completely. And just coming around the side of it as well, really interesting to have the moldings like not line up right now. This is very clearly early pre-series, not dialed in whatsoever.
And then I believe it's staggered, right?
Oh yeah. So what do we're Continental A contact. Or is it an OE? So 215, 60, R18. Yeah, dude. So they're running a really small wheel up here and 215s, little pizza cutters.
Right.
And it's an 18-inch wheel. But again, the overall diameter is actually still looks bigger in the back. So there could be a benefit to running a taller tire in the rear from, a bird almost just attacked you, from like a taller gear ratio perspective, especially at medium to high speeds to spin the motor less.
Yeah.
That's going to be the question. Are they going to be running the 4DU in this or the 3DU? My guess, if they were to use like an off-the-shelf motor on the rear axle, they'd probably use the 4DU out of the Model Y standard, because that's still silicon carbide inverter, but has half the chips on there, so that it's lower cost but super high efficiency even at partial throttle.
Okay.
And that's just my guess. I don't know. I'm really curious. Maybe we can try and figure out what motor this thing's using.
That would be great.
If it's 4DU and if it's like the efficient Model Y standard 4DU, which would make sense for them to test it in that car and then adapt it to this. That's kind of Tesla's thing, is like always just part sharing out the wazoo.
Right, which would be great for this.
No front trunk that I think is official at this time, but it's interesting. It's going to have probably front mount plate depending on the market that it operates in, but I actually think it should always have a front plate, because that way if like 4 roll up at the same time, you can look at the plate and say, okay, that's mine.
Yeah, you know, Zoox does that.
Zoox does. Well, they have rear plates on both because they can run either direction.
Yeah, right. Yep.
But I do think even if you run it in a market that doesn't require a front plate, which would be like North Carolina, for example, doesn't even give front plates to customers. They should still use them. There's so many different considerations when it comes to building a driverless vehicle meant for rideshare. And to be honest, I think Zoox has a much better carriage than this.
Yes, I would agree. It's an interesting, back and forth, because this is a 2-seater with a huge trunk. Zoox is a 4-seater with 0 trunk. 0
storage.
Yeah.
And very expensive suspension and a big battery and dual motor. And so like, if you want to scale, and I'm not a business expert, I just review product. I would think you would want to make it as cheap as possible. Distill it down to what's the bare minimum, what are the niceties, okay, put a nice screen in there so people can watch something, and you would end up something close to this. The Zoox has got to be very expensive to produce that carriage.
Right.
I love it. Model Y standard using FSD, just like a general, I mean, they work for Tesla. It had manufacturer plates, but still pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
That may have been the exact same. Oh no, that's a standard dual motor.
Oh,
that's one of the new all-wheel drive ones.
Really?
I didn't know they were badging them with dual motor.
I didn't either.
Yeah, but I guess they are. So
I've
that's
never
the new
seen one.
standard all-wheel drive.
Well, there you go.
All right, can we go review your car? So dude, there you go. You can go here, scan the app, scan that, ride in a robo-taxi if you're here in Austin. Really cool experience. Shout out to the robo-taxi, Cybercab, Tesla engineering teams for letting us film it, letting us go inside.
Absolutely.
That was really cool. And check out our friends' videos. You saw Kim from Kim Jada's channel and Josh from Josh West 247. He was in there filming. Check out their stuff as well. And Logan, that's a Cybercab video.
That's it.
Sorry to hijack your video.
No, you're
We don't
okay.
know battery, we don't know range, we don't know cost.
Yeah.
But we do know, I just wish it wasn't this color.
I'm not the biggest fan. It's a little too close to hearing aid beige.
Yeah, and it's like slightly ostentatious.
Yeah.
Like, just make it gray.
Right.
And thankfully it doesn't look like that with all those stupid sensors all over it. Like
Yes.
both of those right there. That's
Yes.
what other self-driving cars are. And then this is Tesla's approach, just so clean.
Yes. Yep.
I am much more in this camp for, at least design and not having this weird look on everything.
100%.
All right, this is our first interaction ever.
Unfortunately, we'll be back live in about 10 to 15 minutes.
And no! And did he run out of charge or what happened?
We kind of.
Oh,
Not
okay.
necessarily ran out of charge, but we'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. So thanks for watching. See you on another one again soon. That's our first Cybercab experience.